Welcome back to the book of Samuel. We are in chapter 27, verse 8. What we have is David went to the king of Gath, Achish, and said he wanted to live there. He was going away from Shaul. He was no longer part of Israel. He was willing to fight with the Philistines against Israel. And so Achish welcomed him in, and he even gave him some land in the borders of the area. And so now we come to verse 8 and see what happened. So he was living there for a year, for a day and some months, whatever. That's according to one opinion. Other opinions say he was there for a year and 4 months. Fine. Whatever the case is going to be, he had a plan. His plan was to attack the people who would ultimately go against Israel. So that's what he does here. Verse 8. Vaya'al David va'anashav. So David and his men went up. Vayifshatu el hageshori v'hagirzi v'hamaleki. And he went to fight against three groups. The Geshori, the Girgazi, and the Amaleki, the Amalekites. Why? Because these people live in the land Hashem Yolam forever. They were always there. There was no reason for them to run away, as it were. And how far were they? They were as far as Shore, all the way to the border of Mitzrayim, of Egypt. So why do we have to hear this? These three people who were living there forever, the groups who were living there forever, had a lot of possessions. Why? Because they were friendly with everybody. They had no reason to assume that anybody would attack. So since they were not ready for David and his men, that's why David and his men could go in there and wipe everybody out. We'll come to it when we finish this, which should be in a few minutes. Then we'll explore why David wiped these groups out. What gave him the authority to wipe them out? This is a very important question. You have to wait to the end to hear that. But it's a very important question. Here he was welcomed into his country, and he's wiping out inhabitants left and, at this point, left and right, if you will, and destroying trade partners also. But the question is going to be why? What was his authority to do that? So now we come to verse 8. It says very clearly, Vehika David et ha'aretz. David smote the land. V'lo yechaya ish isha. Sorry, he didn't leave anybody alive. And what happens? V'likach tzon v'akar. He takes all the sheep, the cattle, the chamorim, and the donkeys, ugamalim, and the camels, v'gadim, and the clothes, v'yashav, and he returned, v'yavo el Achash, and he came to Achash. So here he comes with all of this wonderful booty that he got from all over the place. So, verse 10, Vayomer Achish, Achish says, Al pishatetem hayom. So where did you get this from? Where did you raid today? And Vayomer David. So David didn't want to tell him that he wiped out people's own neighbors. That wouldn't be a good situation. So Vayomer David, Al Negev Yehuda. I went to the south of Yehuda. Al Negev Yerachmeeli, and to the south of the Yerachmeelites, if you will. V'al Negev Hakeni, and also to the south of the Kenites. Kenites, don't forget, Kenites is from Yitro, who was Moshe's father-in-law, of that line. So he's saying he attacked his own people, which was the original plan. Remember, he said, I want to help you defeat our common enemy, namely Shaul and the Jewish people. So he's very happy with that, and so now verse 11 says, V'ish v'isha, and both men and women, lo yichaya David. This is a parenthetical statement. David did not leave alive. Why? Lahavi gat lemoshe, to bring them to God, saying, Pen, in his mind, he's saying this, not saying it to the Achash, obviously. Pen yagidu aleinu lemor, lest they tell upon us, saying, Ko asa David v'ko mishpato. This is what David did, and this was his judgment. He wiped us out. He took our property away. He did it. It was an unprovoked attack. He didn't want that. So call him Yeshabis de Belishtim, all the days that he was living in the fields of the Pelishtim. So while he was there, he always would wipe out the inhabitants there, so they could not inform Achish what was going on. So what happens? Verse 12, this is the last verse of this chapter, and then I will get into explaining why David could do this. V'yamin Achish v'David lemor, and Achish believed, he trusted David, saying, and listen to what he says, Haveish hiveish ba'amo Yisrael. He has surely become abhorred or shamed amongst his people Israel, because he was going, again, he told Achish, I'm attacking the Jewish people. And he picked on his tribe, his tribesman. He is from Judah, and he's attacking that area. That's what he's telling him. So he says, this David cannot go back, and as he's greatly abhorred by his people, and as a result, and this is the last chapter, last part of it, Vayal li le'eved olam, he will be a servant to me forever. There's no going back. You attacked your own people. There's no going back. So Achish was quite happy that David had attacked, or supposedly attacked, the Jewish people and got all this booty. But the question is, how could David have done it? David is, he's not a wicked person. We can look to him as a tzaddik. He's the one who writes psalms. He's the one who does all these things. True, he has to fight a defensive war, and so as he kills, and he will make some mistakes, no question. But the real question is, how could he return the good graces of Achish and attack Achish's own people? So the Malbim says a fascinating thing. He says that the people were there forever, and so as a result of that, they were really the 7 nations that we were supposed to wipe out when entering the land of Israel. Hashem had commanded to the Joshua and the people, to Moshe and Joshua, when they enter the land, they have to wipe out the 7 Canaanite nations. They can't leave anybody alive. David said, these people are here forever. That's why it says Me'olam. That's why Hashem Me'olam, they were there forever. So as a result, they were of the original inhabitants. So as a result of that, the Malbim explains that David was fulfilling the biblical injunction of wiping out the people of the land. So I'd be interested to hear what you have to think about the Malbim's explanation. Love to hear your comments about this class. Please give it a like, subscribe to the channel, and we'll come back next time. Thank you.